Hey everybody, this is Eli with Elfbait. Well, you probably know who I am, so I hope by now, if you're watching the channel at least. But if you're new to the channel, this is the first video you caught, I'd like to make sure that I introduce myself, and I'm not so full of myself as to think that everybody knows who I am. But anyways, we're coming back with day 17 of the Dungeons & Dragons 30-day challenge. I must apologize, some of these videos got a little delayed, just time and things, but yeah, so we're at day 17. Day 17, favorite animal, insect, or arachnid? Well, that's a crappy day. Not because there's nothing to that answer, there's just so much to that. I mean, what are you supposed to say about such a broad spectrum of creatures? It's hard to say that I have one favorite that spans all three of those or goes above and beyond in any, all three, across all three of those categories. So like so many of these videos, I'm going to cheat. I'm going to try and tap into something favorite about one or more, or maybe more, or all of these. I'm doing these videos kind of off the cuff, so there's nothing planned or scripted here. Just really going to take a look, delve into my memory as a gamer, and come up with that critter that that really just, inspires me for the category. Do apologize for this light back here. Something's going on with the rest of the lights in my garage, so without that, it's just a little too dim. You're probably going to get weird glaring blinding, or I could move to the right, and we'll just kind of adjust this. There we go. And there we go. So I might have a halo, but anyways, didn't notice until I was shooting. And like I said, these are live. So anyways, or live-ish. Recorded without editing. I don't have time for editing. So, favorite animal, insect, or arachnid? Favorite animal in D&D? Well, I guess that kind of comes down to what you consider an animal. There are many creatures in D&D that, to me, fill the role of an animal in a fantasy realm, but aren't necessarily really real-world animals. It would be easy for me to say dinosaurs, and that's a broad category. I'm a dinosaur fan, but I don't like dinosaurs in the generality, in general use in my campaign settings. Bears, elk, all these things really have been used a lot. But if I had to pick an animal, something that fills the role of animal in D&D, and may not necessarily be a real-world animal, or at least, I guess a mundane animal, would have to be something around, like the Kushi or something to that effect. The elven dogs have a certain charm to them. I like the existence of elven dogs in D&D because it speaks to breeds of dogs when we're often thrown a generic stat block for dog, and so having Kushi out there who have maybe some minor magic about them but are mostly just mundane dogs bred by elves. As far as animals go, those kind of stand out to me. They're not a bear, they're not a wolf, they're not something that's a cheat, which is like picking out some prehistoric animal, whether that's some sort of Pleistocene mammal or earlier dinosaur, or even pre-dinosaur like a Dimetrodon or something to that effect. Those always seem like a cheat in the animal category because while they are animals, they are real-world monsters. A saber-toothed tiger it's a monster. A mammoth is a monster. It's bigger than an elephant. It's gnarlier than an elephant. You've got, hyenodons. You've got all sorts of other things. You've got the hell pigs. I can't remember their actual scientific name at this point. Entelodons. Yeah, I mean, those are all really bestial. But Kushis point to something magical or fantastic, more, I guess the term is fantastic, that is not specifically magical. It is a relatively mundane creature. The only thing that makes it special is that it's bred by the elves. Now, I've used this actually to inform my other elements of my fantasy realms, and often in my fantasy games, I have breeds of dog or other animals that are specific to races or cultures throughout the game. Current game of Aerolith, there are a special type of bird that the elves breed that actually has the ability to learn languages and can speak. It can converse in languages. It's got a rudimentary intelligence. It's not magical. It's just been bred over time to be smarter, and over the long lifespan of the elves, they have these messenger birds that can communicate themselves complex ideas. No need for message scrolls, and the bird can be given a message in a particular language that it knows that may not necessarily be something that anybody who intercepts the bird then could somehow figure out how to make it into talk. So yes, Kushis are my favorite when it comes to animals. I'm sure I have other favorites, but off the top of my head, it's a really special niche for an animal in that, it is a mundane creature, but it points to this concept of other races having their own special breeds. So yeah, I mean, may seem like a really minor deal. It's not a super special animal or anything. It's not a particularly tough animal, but it stands out and is kind of neat. So as far as insect goes, well, insect, for insect, I'm going to broaden that to the wider spectrum of things like worms, multipedes, arthropods and stuff like that. I would say it's a toss-up between the Ankeg and the Remoraz. And for me, they kind of fill similar niches just depending on where you are. Remoraz is a cold weather worm creature, and the Ankeg is more of a plainsland burrowing thing. Those two really stand out to me as really nice, high-powered monsters. One monster that I particularly like, one insect I particularly like that I can't find 5th edition stats for, but it's easy enough to convert over from other games. I'm not even sure if it's actually from an official, like mainstream product. With the open licenses in the past, it's really hard to keep track of what comes from where, but berserker wasps were a good one. Super aggressive giant wasps that were just a real, bastard thing to have to fight for your party. But yeah, Ankegs and Remorazes tie for favorite insect. And as far as arachnids go, I'm going to have to say my favorite arachnid it's got to be the Arachnid, or I've never quite known the pronunciation. First appeared in the Isle of Dread back in the BX days, but have made their rounds through various incarnations in later editions. They're now in 5th edition through, I think, Frog God's 5th edition foes. And they are cool because they are these spell-casting, intelligent spiders that have a culture and a society, and they're not Lolth. They're not connected to Lolth, which is kind of neat. Seems like anything spidery gets subsumed by Drow lore, and it makes sense. The Drow, they have spider goddess. They're going to make use of all these various things, and but the Arachnid are cool in that they exist on their own. They've got their own society, their own culture. They've got their own enemies. In the original Isle of Dread, they are kind of the bitter enemies of the Phenaton, the lemur folk, which I believe are in 5th edition now. Well, the Phenatons is what they were called in the original book, or in the original module, and later on in 2nd edition they made an appearance in the Mystara Monstrous Compendium. But I believe you could easily sub out the lemur folk from, I think it's Kobold's Tome of Beasts. That is, pretty much what the Phanatons were. The Phanatons were lemur folk that had little flying squirrel flaps, and they could wield daggers in their tails. But anyways, the Arachnids were enemies with those, and they're neat. They've got intelligent. They're highly intelligent. They have mage levels and innate caster abilities. I believe they even have shape-shifting abilities. So when you first encounter an Arachnid, they may not even be in the guy. They may not be in spider form. I think that they may have originally have been inspired. Freudian slip. I don't know. And yes, inspired. They were inspired by the Lang spiders from the expanded universe, Lovecraftian expanded universe. I've seen some write-ups of Lang spiders for D&D. I think also those are in the Tome of Beasts, and may even be in 5th edition Foes, because both of those draw from there's a lot of Lovecraft inspired stuff in there. But yes, they're very similar. They're magical spiders, highly intelligent spider folk. So I guess in the name of favorite arachnid, it's kind of a cheat because they're not really dumb spiders. If I had to pick actually, an actual spider or a favorite arachnid that I had to pick, it would be a toss-up between the phase spider or the sword spider. Those things are both really cool monsters to throw at your party. So that's kind of it. I mean, there are so many animals, insects, and arachnids out there in D&D that it's really hard to nail down 3 to really pin it. And as you can tell, I even had to talk about other monsters to really just feel like I'd done the subject justice. And that's really what these 30-day challenges are. They're to get people talking about their D&D experience. I mean, for insects, you've got giant beetles, you've got bombardier beetles, you've got fire beetles. There are all kinds of butterfly and mantis thingies. I mean, I could have cheated and said the 3 Kreen, but they're really a humanoid race. You've got so much stuff. Giant centipedes, you've got stegopedes, you've got purple worms, you've got all kinds of insects and arachnids, stultifugids, cave fishers. I guess the cave fisher probably fits somewhere into that realm. There are so many things that you can use in D&D that really they just sing it. I mean, the rust monster, not really an insect or anything, but it looks like a bug. So what exactly is the category or the categorization there, the qualification? But yeah, so those are my selections, as loose as they may be, for favorite animal, insect, and arachnid for day 17 of the 30-day challenge. Gonna try and get some of these busted out, so you probably see this shirt a few times more, because, well, I just want to get these in the can so I don't fall behind again. Like, share, subscribe. Tell me about your favorite animal, insect, or arachnid. Share a story, an encounter, a time you used one of these creatures to great effect in your games as a dungeon master. If I'm full of crap, let me know. If something is so much better, let's hear why. But really, I encourage discussion in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. Get the word out. All you new folks showing up after the appearance on Nerdarchy, I appreciate you jumping over here. If you're over there, you're already watching quality YouTube and learning a crap ton about gaming. You got a solid group of players over there and dungeon masters that are really giving you some good advice. And the fact that you came from there to check me out, super appreciate that. I've got some other folks over on the Elfbait Facebook group. One final note, the mummy document that I had talked about in the, I believe it was day 15, Favorite Undead. There were some problems with the formatting on that. I got that corrected, and it is now attached to the comments of that video. I'll also be throwing it in the comments on this one just to keep up, and it's also, there's a link to it on the Elfbait Facebook group. And it's just a couple of charts and tables with a little bit of lore, not really lore, just some flavor text. And some neat art that I borrowed from the internet, credit given, but talking about ways to add some variety to mummies. If you're a player who likes to use a lot of mummies, or you're really looking for a mummy that will surprise your party. Anyways, that's been posted up in the comments, or not the comments, but the description on the video where I talked about it. It'll be down below, and it's also on the Elfbait Facebook group. Again, this is Eli from Elfbait, ending my usual post-episode ramble by thanking you again for checking it out, and get out and game.